Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Brooklyn Technical High School Virtual College Fair. Thank you so much for joining us. We are really excited you are here. Before we get started, we do have a few housekeeping items to note. First, if you have any questions at all, feel free to use the Q&A button to type in your questions to the presenters at any time. They are here, ready and available to answer your questions. Your camera and microphone are off. You are muted and your video is off. The panelists can't see or hear you. There are more sessions happening. This is one of many college presentations being offered, so feel free to sign up for more. We're at the same place where you registered for this one. And lastly, all sessions are being recorded and will be available a week from today at strivescan.com/Brooklyn Tech. We are currently in session A1, where my mouse is circling at the moment. And this is also the same order of presentations. So without further ado, I'll get out of the way and we'll kick it off with our first representative from SUNY University of Albany.
Thank you so much, Catherine. Hello, everyone, and good evening. My name is Danielle Haft, and I am an undergraduate admissions counselor here at the University at Albany. Just a brief introduction about the University at Albany. Along with my counterparts, we are part of the SUNY system, and SUNY is the system of public higher education within New York State, and it's actually also the largest in the country. Something that you should know about the University at Albany is that we are a Research 1 university, which means that our university produces the highest level of research activity among other institutions of higher education within the country. So depending on your area of interest and your major, there may be some more research involved, but we do prioritize undergraduate research here at the University at Albany. Here is a picture of our campus. This is an aerial view. Some of you may have already been on campus already, but this is just a shot of what our campus looks like. To talk a little bit more about our location, we are located in the state's capital of Albany, New York, which I have to say presents a large advantage to our campus for many of our students. In addition to the undergraduate research opportunities that I mentioned just a moment ago, a lot of our students do choose to take on different internship, job opportunities, volunteer opportunities right from the start as a University at Albany student. We are only located about 10 minutes up the road from the downtown area. This is our main campus, but we do also have a downtown campus as well that typically houses our Rockefeller College, Criminal Justice, and our Engineering College as well. Now, just to dive into some of our academic programs briefly that we do have to offer here at UAlbany, we are broken down into 9 schools and colleges across the university. We have about 50 undergraduate majors and about 70 undergraduate minors. That number is continuously fluctuating as we are adding new programs each year. And I would have to argue that we do offer something for everybody here. Now, just to be conscious of our time, I won't go into depth about each of our academic programs here. However, if you do have a specific question, feel free to either put it in the chat or the Q&A, and myself or Carl Anderson, one of our other admissions counselors, will be happy to answer them. Our College of Arts and Sciences is our largest college here at the University of Albany, and we do offer both Bachelor of Arts and Bachelor of Science degrees. Some of our most popular majors within this college are biology, psychology, and sociology. Our College of Emergency Preparedness, Homeland Security, and Cybersecurity is one of our most unique programs that we have to offer here, and it is only about 5 years old. Their space is equipped with a drone lab as well as a maker space for 3D printing, and they are actually moving into a new building come the summer of 2021. Our Rockefeller College of Public Affairs and Policy is a great opportunity for students that are interested in public policy and political science. We do have very close relationships with the New York State Senate and Assembly, and we do also offer a program in Washington, D.C. as well. The School of Business and School of Criminal Justice are ranked top in the country. Specifically, our School of Criminal Justice is ranked number 3 out of over 400 programs nationwide. And specifically, I also do want to mention our School of Education. We do have a combined Great Dane teacher program for students that are interested in pursuing education at the elementary, secondary, or higher education levels as well. Again, if you have a specific question about a program that we offer, you're more than welcome to put it in the Q&A. Now, just to talk a little bit more about the application process, our accepted mid-range GPA is around an 89 to a 95. I do want to emphasize that this is a holistic number, and we do accept students both below and above these ranges each year. In terms of our SAT and ACT policy, currently we are test optional for up until spring 2022. However, we do hope within the next few weeks that we will receive a little bit more guidance from SUNY about what our testing policy is moving forward to the fall 2022 semester. That's probably the most applicable to you as a current junior, but we are hoping, as I mentioned, to get some more guidance in the next couple weeks. Just to talk a little bit more about the application process as a whole, we are taking a look at a number of things that students are presenting to us, such as their essay, their letter of recommendations, the activities that they participate in. Certainly the high school transcript does have the biggest weight here at UAlbany, but we do take a lot into account when reviewing a student's application. And just to briefly wrap it up, I do want to mention that currently at the University at Albany, we are offering in-person tours. If you would like to schedule a tour in person, we are releasing our summer schedule shortly. You're more than welcome to come visit us and speak with us in person. We have our student tour guides leading tours over the summer. And again, if you have any questions, feel free to jot down my email and phone number. And again, you can speak with Carl or myself in the Q&A for some more questions that you might have. So thank you all again so much for having us this evening, and we look forward to hopefully meeting you soon.
Awesome, thank you. The next representative is from SUNY Farmingdale.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Raymond Weber. I'm an admissions representative with Farmingdale State College. Those that don't know, FSC is SUNY's largest applied science and technology college. We have about 10,000 students on campus, so we're a medium-sized school. Don't let that number scare you. Your average class size is only going to be about 25 students, so it's probably similar to what you've experienced thus far in your educational career. Our largest lecture hall on campus, it doesn't allow for more than 50 to 60 students at a time. So we're not the type of school that's going to throw you into a classroom that has 400, 500, 600 students in person in a large lecture hall. Again, largest class doesn't allow for more than 50 to 60 at a time. We were founded all the way back in 1912. Actually, we were the first SUNY founded on Long Island as a New York State School of Agriculture. That is back when Farmingdale used to be mostly farmland. Now, I'm not sure how familiar you are with the area. We're only about an hour out from Brooklyn, but there are very few farms left in Farmingdale, Long Island, New York now. So we're right on the brink of Suffolk and Nassau County. Campus itself, we have about 380 acres. It's a gorgeous campus. We are expected to start opening up the campus to public tours soon. So keep an eye out for that. But right on the brink of Suffolk and Nassau, right outside of campus, you have the hustle and bustle of Long Island. You have malls and shops and restaurants. Right across the street, there is a Target and Adventureland, which is Long Island's amusement theme park. 20 minutes north or 20 minutes south, you're going to hit a beach. Again, we're only an hour out from the city. So our students find themselves busy. A lot of our students do choose to take on a job. They're involved in extracurriculars. So there's a lot of things to do on campus and off campus. I'm not going to talk about each of our programs. Our school is broken down into 4 different schools, or our college is broken down into 4 different schools, rather. So I just want to briefly mention some of our more popular programs at FSC. Starting out with applied psychology, just know this is not a broad-based psychology program. This is a little bit more competitive because it is organizational psychology. So how are we using psychology to better help organizations and businesses function? Bioscience, that is one of the many programs that you can start out if your plan is med school. You're not going to find a pre-med program, but this essentially is that. So a lot of other schools, they might have biology. We have bioscience. You could also start out in science, technology, and society, nutrition science, health promotion, and wellness. There are a lot of different aspects of med school. So you just have to sit down with an admissions counselor, figure out what your goal is, and they'll advise you accordingly. We have a brand new criminal justice program. This is an incredibly popular field. So this program will focus more on policy change and victim advocacy and things like that, but this is more broad-based. We do have another program that focuses on technology and forensics, and that is over in our School of Engineering Technology. Liberal Arts and Sciences, this is that good program for most, if not all of you. This is a good program for that student that just wants their associate's degree and they want to get into the workforce. Maybe you're undecided, or maybe you don't have the GPA to get into the first program of your choice. Liberal Arts and Sciences will allow you to start at FSC, get your feet wet, and then you can switch your major without necessarily finishing the program. You don't have to finish that associate's level degree before you switch your major. So just keep that in the back of your mind. This is our least competitive program. It only requires an overall 80 high school GPA. So again, I would take a look into liberal arts and sciences if you're unsure, or if you're unsure about where you stand academically. Over to our School of Business. Business Management is actually our most popular program because there are so many different concentrations within that, be that accounting, marketing, sport management, international management, the list goes on. But there are a lot of different things that you can do, and obviously you can work in a variety of fields. A lot of our computer programs are housed in our School of Business, with the exception of Computer Engineering Technology, which is obviously in our School of Engineering Technology. That program will focus on the hardware aspect of computers, as opposed to these, which focus more on the software aspect. We do have interaction design, which is a new program. Visual communications is one of our graphic design programs, one of our few arts-based programs that we do have on campus. Just know that program does require a portfolio review. If you want more information, reach out to me and I'll let you know. Over to our School of Engineering Technology, we're one of the few schools in the area that has a professional pilot program. Our airplanes fly at the Jones Pete's Air Show every year. That's actually one of our airplanes there with my little Bitmoji in the center. And then you'll see a bunch of engineering technology programs. Let me say this, do not get caught up in titles. That can really, really do damage. Just know that if you speak with employers, they will tell you this. They are hiring engineering technicians or engineering technologists for engineering positions and vice versa, right? But to put it simply, really quickly, an engineer, they innovate, while an engineering technician, they innovate, but they really focus on taking that innovation and implementing it into real world practice. So I like to put it as a well-rounded engineer. But again, if you speak with employers, they're going to tell you that they're hiring engineering technicians for these engineering positions. All of these programs are ABET accredited, with the exception of civil engineering technology. And that's just because it's a brand new program. Once we go through the process, then we can, once we have a graduate from that program, then we can go through the accreditation process. You'll see a few other programs in here. I mentioned computer engineering technology, computer security technology, otherwise known as cybersecurity, very, very much in need. It's not going anywhere anytime soon. I did mention law enforcement technology earlier as well. And this is our School of Health Sciences, arguably what we are most well known for. Our nursing and dental hygienes are one of the best ranked programs in the state and in the country. That being said, they are also very competitive. So they expect at least a 90 GPA, and then a lot of those programs will rank from there. Are there other options? Absolutely, right? If you don't get into the nursing program, that's not to say that you're not meant to be a nurse. It's just to say that you are on a different track. So I just want to breeze by our student support services and our thriving student life. We have a very traditional collegiate setting at FSC, Division III NCAA sports. And I will give you my contact information. So guys, don't hesitate to shoot me an email, give me a call if you ever have any questions or concerns regarding the admissions process. Have a good night.
Great, thank you. Just a friendly reminder that if you have any questions at all, to feel free to submit those through the Q&A. Our representatives are here and available to answer any questions you have. And if you have a specific question, to also note the school name. The next representative is from SUNY Polytechnic Institute.
Hi everyone, my name is Jeff Albright, one of the admissions advisors here at SUNY Polytechnic Institute, also a former student as well. I always start off with a brief intro. We actually have two campuses. Our main campus is in Utica. However, we also have a College of Nanoscale Science and Nanoscale Engineering, actually directly adjacent to University at Albany. So just some quick facts about us. We do have roughly 2,200 undergraduates, which makes us one of the smallest four-year SUNY institutions. But with that comes some pretty strong rankings that you can see on your screen here. So obviously as an alum, that's something I'm extremely proud of. As a smaller institution, we do pride ourselves with those smaller classroom environments. You can see average class size of 18. Pre-pandemic, 62% of our classes actually contained fewer than 20 students in them, whereas only 5% contained more than 40, and only 1% contained more than 50. Across our 4 active residence halls, we will have roughly 1,100 students when we are at full capacity living on campus. As far as academic majors go, we do offer 24 different undergraduate programs, as well as a handful of different master's degree and doctoral programs. Our College of Engineering is our largest college, with over half of our total undergraduate population falling within one of the 11 majors in College of Engineering. As Raymond said in his presentation, the difference between an engineer and an engineering technologist is basically going to be your engineers are focusing on that innovation, that designing, the development, the research, that kind of stuff. Whereas your engineering technologists are focusing more on the application side of things. So they're taking those designs from an engineer and bringing them to life in a makerspace, in a 3D printer lab, and things like that. But again, most engineering firms are hiring engineers for engineering technology positions and vice versa. So you're really not going to go wrong either way. It's going to be whatever suits you better as a student. So we do offer the civil, the mechanical, the electrical, and the computer majors. We do also offer our computer science program, which is our largest major. We offer that as both a 4-year degree as well as an accelerated 4+1 program where you can take up to 4 graduate courses as an undergraduate student and allow you to earn your master's degree in just 1 year. Another program that is extremely popular, it's normally our 2nd largest major every year, is our nursing program, where we offer a 1+2+1 partnership with a local private institution that allows our students to earn an associate's degree in nursing, as well as sit for their registered nursing licensure exam, and then complete their bachelor's degree in nursing with us, and then continue to go on to a master's degree in nursing education, nursing leadership, or nurse practitioner. And then we also have a doctoral degree in psychiatric nurse practitioner. So please keep that in mind. And another one of our more unique programs that isn't mentioned specifically on this slide is our Upstate Accelerated Scholars Program. We partner with SUNY Upstate for a select group of students to actually receive guaranteed medical school admission to Upstate without having to take the MCAT exam. And again, this is an extremely selective program, and we can only bring in 5 students into the program every year. However, it is a great opportunity for students within the major. And then I mentioned that we have an Albany campus. That's going to be our College of Nanoscale Science and Nanoscale Engineering. So we're actually one of only about a dozen or so universities in the entire Western Hemisphere to offer nanoscale science and nanoscale engineering at the undergraduate level. Now, because it is so specific, we offer the program as a 4-year degree on our Albany campus, but we also offer a 2+2 program where you can start on our Utica campus for your first 2 years in the nano programs and then transition to our Albany campus for your final 2 years. As far as what we're looking for in a first-year student, we typically like to see a GPA between an 87 and a 93. Now, these are middle 50% numbers, so keep in mind that 25% of our students will fall below this number and 25% will fall higher than the number. And as the rep from you all, as Danielle mentioned earlier, we're still awaiting guidance for the fall 2022 semester from SUNY as far as what will happen with SAT and ACT scores. For students currently applying, we are test optional, but we're just waiting in the next month or so to see what SUNY says as far as the fall 22 semester. And also, this is a fully holistic process, so we take into account your letters of recommendation. We'll take into account your college essay, your extracurriculars, and things like that, because obviously you are more than just a bunch of numbers on your transcript. As far as the application process goes, we are on both the SUNY app and the Common App. Whichever one you prefer to submit is fine by us. When you submit that application, you would need to submit your transcript. We would like to see 2 letters of recommendation, as well as a supplemental application from SUNY or the Common App. And again, we're currently test optional, and we're hoping that it continues that way for the fall 22 semester. As far as tuition rates, we are a SUNY school, and all of us in here are SUNY schools, so you're going to see very, very similar tuition rates, if not the exact same. Where every school is a little different is your room and board. For us, it's going to be right around 13 grand. So a total cost of attendance for 1 full year, everything included with us, before scholarships and financial aid, typically is going to run anywhere between about $21,000 to $24,000 a year. And again, that is going to be before any scholarships or financial aid comes into play. And that is my presentation, folks. Thank you all for joining us tonight, and please feel free to direct any questions my way.
Very helpful information. Thank you. Our next representative is from SUNY Cortland. I believe you're on mute. Think we got, yes.
There we go. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
All right, excellent. Apologize for that. But thank you all for attending tonight. My name is Carmen Wingard. I'm a senior advisor at SUNY Cortland. My contact information is listed there. So if you do have questions as we move forward outside of the presentation, feel free to reach out. Regarding SUNY Cortland, our overall size, we're about 6,800 students. I would say about 6,200 of those students are comprised of our undergraduate. So we're a medium-sized college. Again, most university colleges within the SUNY system, which is what Cortland is, are roughly around that size. Last year, we brought in about 1,300 freshmen, over 500 transfer students. So as you can see, we bring over 1,800 new students to our campus every year. And our classes are around 23 students per class. So a lot of people around the campus like to call us the best of both worlds, how socially you can be around 6,800 different faces and different students, but academically you bring it back to a school a lot smaller than what we are, which makes it a little bit more conducive for learning, and you get to appreciate and really understand and learn from your other classmates. Student to faculty ratio is about 16:1. That just means for every 16 students, we have a faculty member, so no one feels overwhelmed in their learning process. In terms of our location, so we are smack dab right in the middle of New York State, Central New York. We are roughly 20 to 45 minutes away from Syracuse, Ithaca, and Binghamton. Depending on how you drive, it can be somewhere within that range. So Cortland is a rural college area. That doesn't mean that we don't have a lot of things going on. There's a nice shopping district, a nice restaurant area, and a lot of activities going on a daily basis and on the weekends on our campus. However, if you were looking for a little bit more urban or city feel, maybe you have family members that are within one of those three areas, it's a very short car ride and short distance to get to them. We were ranked #1 safest campus in New York State as of last year. So again, that has a lot to do with all of the measures that we take. You know, we have card access into our residence halls. We have a full-time university police department. We have security cameras throughout. So we're certainly appreciative of that ranking, as well as our current students, and hopefully our potential families and students also understand how important that is. Very diverse, represented by 33 different states and 54 different countries collectively, as well as have students from every county within New York State. In terms of our criteria, you know, we do look at students holistically, as I'm sure every college on this panel does. But if you're looking at just the metrics, the numbers, you know, we look at 4 years of English and social studies, at least 3 years of math, science, and foreign language. Academically, I like to say that we're a B school. So if you're somewhere in that B range, 86 to a 92 with the unweighted GPA, B- to a B+, or even a 3.0 to a 3.4, I would feel extremely comfortable with that applying to Cortland. But that doesn't mean that if you have a higher GPA, you wouldn't be challenged. And if you have a lower GPA, that Cortland could be, you know, not in your future. We certainly accept students from a wide range academically. That's just kind of where our median falls. And to echo the same sentiments of the other panelists, you know, in terms of SAT and ACT scores, we will have to wait until the mandate and the policy comes down from the SUNY Central office on what we'll be doing collectively next year. And currently we are test optional for our current applicants for the fall of 2021. And total billed expenses, you know, with our tuition, room and board, and college fees, in addition to our non-billed expenses, because there are things that you would have to consider as you move along, books and supplies, personal spending, transportation. We're roughly about $25,734 for our in-state students. If you are New York State resident, then your tuition, everything stays the same except your tuition. Your tuition goes up to about $16,980, but that is also before any kind of scholarships and awards are given out. We also have a Future New Yorkers Award that provides you with about $7,000 just for getting accepted. And then there's a lot to do on campus. We have close to 100 clubs and organizations, everything from an academic club organization within every major to 14 fraternities and sororities, as well as clubs and organizations that center around music, media, service, and religion. You can be working for Habitat for Humanity, building homes within the area. So finding your passion and your interest is certainly easy to do on Cortland's campus. Living on campus, you are required to live on campus for at least the first 2 years if you are an incoming student. We have about half of our campus, about 3,300 undergraduate students living in one of 17 different residence halls. And then we have a lot of great amenities. One that we like to highlight is the $60 million Student Life Center. It's a fully functional health and wellness center available for all of our campus community. There are 2 workout facilities, indoor track, an indoor pool with sauna, jacuzzi, as well as there are classes that take place in case you were looking to reach any kind of physical fitness goals or obtain a nutritionist. You can get that right through the Student Life Center for a small fee as a current student. And then we have 10 dining facilities located all throughout the campus. We have an buffet style all you care to eat facilities at New Big and the Bistro. And then we have a la carte dining facilities to where you can just go grab a coffee, maybe a bagel or small snack. Academically, again, too many to list and go into too much depth in this presentation, but we have 68 different majors. We are a big education school, so becoming certified in any one of these programs from adolescent education all the way through physical education, sports management, exercise science, and criminology usually round out our top 4 programs. But I would challenge you and encourage you to go to our website at cortland.edu/majors to find out a little bit more. And in terms of key dates, a couple to keep in mind, if you are applying early action, which is a non-binding application process, that would be November 15th to have your application in by. If you're applying regular admissions, that would be around December 1st to get your application into us so we can timely review it. And as most colleges, May 1st would be the deadline. Once again, if you do have questions, feel free to talk about them in the chat or reach out to me personally. Thank you.
Thank you. We really appreciate it. Just another friendly reminder that if you have any questions at all, to please feel free to submit those through the Q&A. Any questions at all about the college application process or regarding a question about a specific school, we encourage you to also note the school name in your question through the Q&A. Our next representative is from SUNY Maritime.
Hello, everyone. Give me 1 second while I pull up my PowerPoint. All right, so hello, everyone. My name is Victoria Lococo, and I am here to discuss Maritime College. I'm one of our admissions counselors here who represents Suffolk County, New York, which is on Long Island, and tons of other states, as well as upstate New York. This is a beautiful picture of SUNY Maritime. We are located in the Bronx, about 30 minutes from Manhattan. We have a beautiful campus, as you can see pictured here, and we have tons of space. We are about 55 acres, so we are one of the smallest SUNYs, but I would say we are one of the most unique as well. We are actually one of 7 maritime institutions in the entire country, so that makes Maritime extremely unique. So these are just some quick facts about Maritime by the numbers. Again, being a small institution, we have about 1,800 students, and that's something our students absolutely love, where they get that one-on-one attention by a professor or even your peers. You get to know those around you, you get to know your classmates, you get to know your professors, and there's a lot of accessibility with a small number like that. Where you see those percentages where it says 70% regiment and 30% civilian, that's something that makes Maritime extremely unique. Maritime actually offers students the opportunity to get their United States Coast Guard license as they finish their bachelor's degree or associate's or even master's degree. A United States Coast Guard license pretty much grants you access to work on any type of maritime vessel in the future. Whether you want to work on land or even in the sea, you need a United States Coast Guard license to operate any type of, example being, say, a cruise ship captain. You need a United States Coast Guard license for that. All of our engineering programs are ABET accredited, meaning that they are certified to be any type of engineering field. Again, being a small institution, we have a 15-to-1 student-to-teacher ratio, meaning the class sizes are small at about 21 per class size. All of our programs are nationally recognized in various awards and categories. As well as the fun side of Maritime, we have 13 Division III sports ranging from track, swimming, football, you name it, we probably have it. And then we have about 80 clubs and organizations, and that is continuously growing depending on what our students are feeling, and their mood for the year. So these are all of our academic programs here at Maritime. We have two types of bachelor's degrees, Bachelor of Engineering and a Bachelor's of Science. I'm not going to go into them because, there's a lot to talk about for all of our majors, but this is just the general gist of them. We also have an Associates of Applied Science and Marine Technology. So it is around a 2 to 3 year program. So a lot of our students who want to get into the maritime field, but don't want to commit for a 4-year degree, usually go for our associate's program. And for those who want to do, their master's degree here in the maritime field, we do have a 4+1 program where you can complete your bachelor's degree in 4 and finish your master's in 1. So it's a really great opportunity for our students to complete their degrees that they want in a short amount of time. I would say one of our most unique majors would be our naval architecture major, where that's actually, I believe, one of 10 in the country that offer this, where you pretty much design ships, design maritime vessels, operations, and really cool things like that. So it's a nice mix of science, business, history, humanities. All of our majors kind of touch on all of that, where it gives it a nice, well-rounded education for any of our degrees. So back to what I was saying about the regiment versus civilian. As our students are about 70% regiment, meaning those who are going to get their United States Coast Guard license, you have a variety of options here at Maritime. You can either be in the regiment, getting a license, or you can be a civilian doing a professional internship track. You're either one of the other. So there's plenty of options to do that. All of our degrees have one of these options, whether it be getting a deck license or engine license, or getting an internship path. So there's a lot of opportunities for our students to do that and get really involved on campus. Something unique about Maritime as well, fun fact, is that our boat or our ship actually went out today. As you can see pictured here is our Empire State 6. It is a beautiful federal ship that you can see pictured, as well as our students who are on it currently. It goes out for the summer for around 65 days, and it gets the experience of that hands-on getting your license. So it's a really good opportunity for our students, and you're actually getting hands-on experience in the middle of the ocean on a ship, going to various ports, such as Puerto Rico. I know they're going to the Canary Islands and various places internationally and domestic. And then on the flip side of that, you have the internship track. So if you're a student here, you're either going on our ship for the summer or more likely than not doing an internship for the summer. And it varies on what you want to do depending on what your career path may be. You may want to go and work on a ship in the summer, even though you're a civilian. You maybe want to get hands-on at an aquarium, or maybe you want to do scuba diving and get that hands-on internship experience. There's plenty of ways to get involved. These are our quick facts for the SUNY or Common application. Our applications are still open. They close actually this week, the 30th. And then those are our quick facts of what we expect for our students between an 88 to a 90 GPA. SAT, ACT scores are still test optional. Like a lot of my coworker or colleagues have said, SUNY still does not know if we're going to be test optional for fall 2022. And it is until spring 2022 currently that our SAT or ACT scores are required or test optional. And then we also require at least one letter of recommendation and an essay, of course. So here is my contact information. Again, my name is Victoria Lococo. There is my email if you want to make a meeting with me, and my phone number. Highly recommend that you follow us on social media and get to know us as well. We post a lot of really cool pictures. So it's a really good opportunity, and feel free to ask me any questions in the chat.
Thank you. Our last representative, but certainly not least, is from SUNY Oswego.
Hi, good evening, everyone. My name is Emmanuel. Everyone calls me Manny, and my pronouns are he, him, or his. And I'm actually a counselor here in the Office of Admissions. Also happen to be the representative for all of New York City. So a little bit about SUNY Oswego. SUNY Oswego is a very unique campus situated right on the shores of Lake Ontario. So beautiful setting all throughout the year. Does get a little windy in the wintertime, occupying 700 acres of land on 1 mile stretch of Lake Ontario. Our campus is considered the most residential state university campus in the SUNY system, with over 90% of all our students living in one of our 14 residential communities. We are the 6th largest four-year state university campus with a little over 8,000 students on our main campus. We actually have a branch campus out in Syracuse, which is primarily for our non-traditional students, graduate students, and our students who are interested in doing internships in the Syracuse greater area or participating in one of our unique co-op programs. As a campus community, we've undergone some major renovations. $1.1 billion invested into infrastructure, so brand new residential communities for our students, brand new academic spaces to ensure that students are receiving a high quality academic and social experience as undergraduate students. In terms of our uniqueness of our campus and location, we are right in the center part of central New York region. So we're easy to get to. So we like to say that we're far enough that you get away from your family, but close enough that you can make that journey right back down to the city. 5 hours north, easily accessible, but you could fly up into Syracuse. You could take Megabus Greyhound. You could take the Amtrak train. We also have students that bring their own vehicles because you're allowed to bring a car with you. We're a medium-sized school, so still small. We don't believe that large lecture hall environments are great learning environments for our students. So you're going to find most of your classes are going to remain small, typically to what you would typically see in one of your classes in high school. In terms of our majors, we have a lot of offerings. There's 130 majors to choose from, 260 minors and concentrations. There's a lot going on in programs here, but in terms of the College of Liberal Arts and Science, it is the largest school. So a lot of Brooklyn Tech students come to us for things like computer science, our electrical and computer engineering program, software engineering, of course, zoology, because we're the only school to offer that in the state of New York. We also see some traditional things like linguistics, students interested in psychology, human development, and many other things. School of Business, ACSB accredited, one of the highest and hardest accreditations in the country and in the world. We offer everything in the field of business. Nationally known for our school communication, media, and the arts, in particular for our broadcasting, mass communication, and journalism studies. But there's some unique offerings like audio recording and production. We have our graphic design. We have on animation, video game design for those students who are interested. But then we also have a School of Education, which is our founding school. So you'll find all the teaching programs like TESOL, if you want to teach English to non-native speakers. It's also very common to be undeclared undecided at Oswego. It is technically our largest major, with 15% of our first year students coming in as undecided undeclared. As a campus community feature, definitely the moment you set foot on our campus, our students are really looking for that traditional college experience. We have 14 residential communities to help you adjust to your college life with over 200 clubs. So it's over very robust offerings of opportunities. As an engaged community, 96% of our students stay on campus every weekend. So you're not going to see students going home every weekend. So there's always things like color runs. We have concerts on campus. We have major events in the residence hall to ensure that students are engaged and enjoying their time on our campus. The community itself has 25,000 people living in the city of Oswego. So you'll find everything you'll need, but you're also close to Syracuse. So you could pop into the city if you really want to go out there. Again, the public transportation system works to take students out to Syracuse. We're also zip car school, so if you know how to drive, you could rent one of our zip cars on campus and navigate over to the Syracuse area. 5 dining halls, an all-you-can-eat dining experience, serving 6 meals a day. We also have 14 restaurants for you to take advantage of, ranked #1 in Central New York for best value, best food quality and experience for our students in dining halls. And you also have a dining system that works off campus. So you have the ability to order off campus from 7 p.m. to 4 o'clock in the morning using your extended dining dollars. So students are actually awarded money to use at our off-campus dining facilities, such as Domino's and Pizza Hut, stuff like that. You would normally order from your Grubhub apps home. In terms of our costs, as a SUNY school, relatively affordable, $22,750 a year. We offer some very generous scholarships at Oswego. So it ranges anywhere from $500 a year up to full ride scholarships for our students who are high academic performers. 95% of our graduates are employed or go on to graduate school at completion of their degree. 90% of all students who graduate from Oswego find jobs that correlate with what they major in as undergraduate students. Again, I'm your New York City admissions counselor, so feel free to reach out to me with any questions. I will be in the chat. Thank you for your time, and hopefully we'll see you in the fall in person.
Awesome. Thank you so much. All great information shared from all our representatives. And again, it's always so helpful to hear it all. So thank you. We do have some time left. And so we're going to go ahead now and pivot into our Q&A portion of the session. I'll ask if all our representatives could please turn on their cameras and get ready to unmute themselves for our first question here, which is, what advice would you give someone going through the college search process? Again, what advice would you give someone going through the college search process? And we'll go ahead and get started in the same order in which you all presented it.
Thanks, Catherine. That's a great question. To talk a little bit more about some advice that I would give, I mean, I think I have a number of different tips that I would give for students going through this college search process. However, one big piece of advice that I would give is that to spend a little bit longer on your application than you think that you might need. Typically, as counselors, we say that students should take about 6 to 8 weeks or so, if not longer, to go through the actual application. In terms of one of the most important things that students are presenting on their application is their essay. My personal piece of advice as well would be, I know it can be tempting to have multiple people in your life to read your essay. You know, you want to show it off to other people, but try and keep that small. You don't want too many opinions because you don't want to lose sight of who you are as a student and what you're writing about. So I think that would be my biggest piece of advice for students going through the process.
I would have to say that my biggest piece of advice would be to apply to as many scholarships as humanly possible. That's something that no one told me when I was a senior in high school, but there are a lot of external scholarship websites out there that all of these schools are willing to take. So you can go on to unigo.com, fastweb.com, capex.com, dosomething.org, and there are tons and tons of websites that I'm not even aware of out there where you can go and apply for scholarships that aren't even necessarily merit-based. Much like Danielle said, take your time with going through the application process, but the scholarship application process is also a part of that. So, yeah.
For me, I mean, simply put, make us do our jobs. It's our job to help you in the college search process. So any questions you have, just reach out to us. I mean, we work in our office, or we're working virtually 5 days a week. Hit us up through email, through Zoom, give us a call on the phone. Help us help you. That's what we're all here for. So as long as you're going to reach out to us, we're going to give you the best information that we can possibly give.
Forgot my order, sorry. I would say definitely, make sure that the college is for you. And I know it's really difficult at a time when with COVID and limited restrictions in terms of visiting the campuses and such. But there's only so much that you can learn from the admissions advisors, from the website. If you have the ability, make a small list, a short list, and really do your due diligence in terms of visiting and getting a good feel for the college universities that you may be interested in, because a lot of times, as soon as you step foot on our campus, you're going to know if that's for you. You're going to get a feel for the culture. You're going to get to actually speak and see students, and you'll see if that is something that resonates with you and if you can call that your home. So, do whatever you need to do to just make sure that you're finding your fit.
Oop, that's me. I'm sorry. I would definitely say tour colleges if you can. I know a lot of schools, especially the SUNYs, we're slowly opening up for tours. Maritime is currently open for tours, and you have a great opportunity to see our beautiful campus. And I would definitely say even the virtual tours. So many students are like, I don't want to do a virtual tour. They're just as good. Obviously, it's not the real experience, but I know for Maritime, we have tour guides actually leading the virtual tour themselves. So you actually have a real life student to talk to, even in a virtual setting. So don't think just because it's virtual doesn't mean it's just as good. And I definitely agree with the scholarships, and talk to us. Helping students is our job. And the amount of, emails and parents and students I talk to, they really love the help that we give them. And if more students did that, it would make our jobs, a lot easier, and definitely make the students' time applying a lot easier. So definitely reach out to us for help, and we're here to help you, and definitely get out on a tour if you're able to, and the schools that you're interested are open for it.
I agree completely with what all my colleagues shared. I think one of the great things is that we're in New York State. You guys have access to the greatest university system in this country, and one, value. You can't fight the SUNY value in the sense of very affordable option, and that there's a SUNY school for everyone, regardless of your academic major, interest, grades. So if you're someone going, well, I don't have these GPAs, I don't have that 90, there is a pathway for you in the state university system. So take a moment to, visit the SUNY.edu page and explore all the options out there. There's so many majors out there that sometimes students don't even know. And this could be an excellent time, especially this summer, to explore all your options.
Awesome, thank you. And I couldn't agree more. All great advice from wonderful representatives. Again, any advice from those who work directly at their respective institutions, it's always super helpful. So thank you so much to our representatives, and thank you to each of you for joining us. We have now reached the conclusion of this session, but as we close, there'll be a very quick 4-question survey that will appear on your browser. If you don't mind taking a moment to fill that out for us, your feedback is greatly appreciated. There are more sessions happening. So this is one of many college presentations being offered. So feel free to sign up for more. And lastly, all sessions are being recorded and will be available at strivescan.com/BrooklynTech. Again, thank you all and have a great night.